What is up YouTube, it's your boy Jay Rich back at another video. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. So 2019 is about to end. We're in the last days right now. 2020 is approaching. 2020 basically means perfect vision. So I like to think of this next year coming up, 2020, as a year of perfect vision. So we have a vision of what we want. Now it's time to go get it. So I see you guys all up in the comments talking about you want to start the e-commerce world, to start dropshipping in 2020. Well, I see you guys and I want you guys to succeed. So I made this video to prepare and teach you guys what I believe you should know in order to be successful in dropshipping 2020. I mainly wanted to go over this topic in this video because dropshipping has changed and will continue to change as time goes on, which is completely normal. The world constantly changes, so you have to adapt in order to be successful. So before I go into detail, let me just explain the basics of dropshipping and how it works for those of you that do not understand. I'll make it super quick and easy. It's basically being the middleman and selling a product without having to actually touch the product. So if your customer goes to your website, orders a product, you then order from another supplier, that supplier ships it directly to the customer to where you just profit the difference in the price. So let's go over some questions that I constantly get, and I'm sure those of you watching this have these questions as well. Number one, is dropshipping dead? So dropshipping is not dead simply because all product prices are different between the suppliers. So the only way dropshipping will die is if there's some kind of rule, some kind of legal thing that the country or the world comes up with to where everybody has to make the product the same prices. So as long as there's some kind of price discrepancy among the same product, there's gonna be profit to be made. So basically, if you discover that this pillow is being sold for $10, you then find a supplier that's only selling for $5, that's gonna be profit to be made in dropshipping. You then make a website advertising that pillow for $10, you then order from the supplier for $5, your profit is the $5. So as long as there's some kind of price difference, there's gonna be profit to be made. So the most popular method out here in the US dropshipping, it comes up, dropshipping from China, AliExpress, simply because their product prices are super low, which makes it a lot of profit to be made possible if you dropship here in the US. So, products in China cost a lot less than products out here in the US. That is the reason why it's so profitable to dropship from China. So question number two, is dropshipping saturated? So e-commerce as a whole is huge. It's a huge business model. It's basically taking over the world and it's constantly growing. There's simply not enough people to make it saturated. I feel like those of you that question this basically get that perception because you see a lot of people testing it out, trying it, saying they failed. Well, those people are testing it out, trying it out for a week to a month and then quitting. So there's like thousands of people getting into dropshipping and then quitting the first couple months. So those people that actually become successful, not necessarily they're on YouTube displaying their success, they're quiet, you don't know who they are, but they are successful. There's a lot of successful people in dropshipping. So there's constantly, people going in and out of dropshipping and it's not saturated. E-commerce is growing, you guys, and it's taking over the world. Retailers, the malls are shutting down because everyone's buying online. So definitely not saturated. And the last question, is it too late to start dropshipping? So this kind of goes with the answer to my previous question. E-commerce is freaking taking over the world, you guys. It's steadily growing. It's literally like huge. Amazon is freaking doing crazy numbers and it's only growing. All these malls are shutting down, all these stores are shutting down. It couldn't be a better time to get in e-commerce than it is right now, you guys. So definitely not too late. It's literally is taking over the world. And even if you own a retail store, if you don't kind of have some kind of presence online in e-commerce, your business is going to die. So definitely it's not too late to get into e-commerce dropshipping. So now that the questions are answered, let's get into the details of this video. So you'll hear me talk about e-commerce a lot. Dropshipping is a form of e-commerce. It's the easiest form of e-commerce to get into. You basically don't have to, do the traditional way of ordering the product first and then trying to sell it. You can sell virtually any product in the world at a low cost. So you're basically not touching any of the products and it is e-commerce because you're selling things online. So there's a reason why dropshipping is the best and probably the most recommended business to start online. It's very easy to start, you don't need a lot of capital, and it's easy to scale really fast. So what I like to say to people is to start dropshipping simply because it's super easy to start and it's like a foundation for business in general. So with dropshipping, you're going to have to learn how to sell, you're going to have to learn how to advertise, you're going to have to learn how to deal with customers, you're going to have to learn how to drive traffic to your website. All of these are foundations for business in general. So if you learn these skills, you become a master at these skills, you're gonna be able to translate this to any other business. So this is just an entry point into the whole business world. So use dropshipping as a foundation because it's super easy to start. So not only can you become successful by starting dropshipping, but you can develop a valuable set of skill sets which you can translate into other businesses. So for example, by dropshipping, you have to learn marketing. Like, marketing is a game of dropshipping. If you don't know marketing, you're not gonna sell anything. So if by learning marketing, you actually become an expert, you're good at it, you love it, you found your passion, that is a valuable skill set that translates into any other business. So you could become, basically a crazy marketer and sell basically any product online, in person, and all of that. So dropshipping, like I said, is an entry point. So learn dropshipping, learn the skill sets of it, and you never know what you're gonna do in the future. You never know what you're gonna decide to, have a passion for, decide and realize that you're actually good at this skill set. So start dropshipping, learn the skill sets, and then see how it goes in the future. Become successful dropshipping along the way. And it's amazing, you guys, because it's an entry point and anybody could start it. So let's talk about general store versus a one product store. So a general store is basically selling every single product like Amazon. A one product store is selling one product mainly with a couple of products around that product. So I like to, describe it as a general store is basically having this sport of basketball, football, baseball, hockey, tennis, golf, all into one. So this section you have basketball, this section you have football, this section you have baseball, all into one. So kind of crazy, but it's a lot of stuff into one, which of course you can make a lot of money, but it's kind of scattered and confusing. But a one product store is basically like having one sport and having a superstar. So basically like basketball, let's say basketball. You have a basketball team, you get one superstar, that's your one product. That superstar is LeBron. You build players around him, which basically builds a one product store. So it's a superstar product, and then you build products around that, and you add products to your store that relate to that one superstar product. So back then, a year to 2-3 years ago, general stores would work. You could put the whole AliExpress on your store, advertise it through Facebook, Instagram, and it would get sales. It would become successful. Nowadays, it's leaning towards one product store simply because people enjoy and they appreciate a branding experience. So when you have a one product store, you have an opportunity to brand the whole store around that one superstar product. So in 2020, you definitely want to put the focal point around one product stores. So you want to find your superstar product and then add products that complement that superstar product. So it's definitely possible. And if you want to sell different products, completely different niches, you're totally free to do so. But I highly recommend that you guys keep it separated. So just create different Shopify stores, and each superstar product, create a store around that. And that's the way to go. So as I said earlier, with the one product store, it makes it easier and a kind of a more branding experience for your customer. So another tip to you guys in 2020 is to put the focal point on branding as well, because you got to think a long-term strategy. You want to make sure that your customers have a branding experience. That way they're constantly, coming to you and you have repeat customers. So branding is definitely the way to go in 2020 for dropshipping. So it's easy to do that when you have one superstar product and a store around that superstar product. So one product store equals a branding opportunity for your Shopify dropshipping business. So now let's talk about the marketing strategies and methods in 2020. So the marketing methods that you probably heard about still are in play and exist today. The most talked about obviously are Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and Google ads. And you can basically advertise on all the social media platforms, for example, Twitter and YouTube. But the thing about advertising on those platforms is that they can become really, really expensive. They're a lot more expensive today as they were a year or 2 years ago. Back then, 2 years ago, you could become successful with a $5 Facebook ad. Today, not necessarily so. So you definitely want to venture out and learn how to use Facebook ads, Instagram ads, all the social media ads. That way you have the marketing skill set. But you definitely want to make sure that you test, and start with a low budget. That way you don't risk a lot of your money. So a lot of people, when they start dropshipping for the first time, they think, okay, I'm gonna start this Shopify website, I'm gonna add the products, and then I'm gonna start Facebook ads and become successful. That is usually, most of the time, not the case. you're gonna start with Facebook ads and you're gonna lose money. So you literally have to go in with the mindset that you're gonna lose money. So my advice to all you guys is to learn Facebook ads, learn Instagram ads, learn Google ads, so you have that marketing skill set. But make sure that you go in with a mindset and start with a low budget. That way you don't risk a lot of your money. So it's gonna be a learning experience. You definitely want to make sure that you learn those methods. That way you have a marketing skill set. But obviously you hear me talk about influencer marketing a lot, and that is my favorite alternative, and it's probably one of the most, if not the most effective and talked about marketing methods today, simply because you can reach a lot of people without risking a lot of money as opposed to advertising on other social media platforms. So in 2020, just like in 2019, I'm gonna continue to highly recommend influencer marketing, simply because I don't wanna see you guys losing a lot of money advertising on other social media platforms. So as you've seen in my earlier videos, I talked about influencer marketing a lot, and I even showed examples of me paying influencers less than $100 to promote my product to them and getting a ton of results from that. So influencer marketing is really, really huge and really a game changer in dropshipping and e-commerce marketing, simply because you can pay an influencer way less and reach way more people as opposed to Facebook ads or advertisements on any other social media platform. So in dropshipping and in any other business, you want to make sure when you advertise and start marketing that you risk as little money as possible in order to maximize your profits. So of course you want to make sure that you make as much money as possible while spending the very least amount of money possible, and you could do this with influencer marketing. So in 2020, for those of you that want to start dropshipping, make sure that you make influencer marketing a focal point for your marketing efforts and become a master at influencer marketing. So another thing to mention why influencer marketing is super cool is because you get a ton of data when you actually do influencer marketing. So you still can use Facebook and Instagram ads. You could use that data to run retargeting ads and lookalike audiences, which makes, as I said earlier, your profit super high and your risk super low. So it makes Facebook and Instagram ads much more effective because you're using actual data for people that actually went to your site and lookalike audience of those people that actually went to your site. So influencer marketing needs to be the focal point for you, and in 2020 become a master at influencer marketing. So once you start dropshipping, once you learn the skill sets, in particular marketing, and you find your marketing strategies that work, scale up, double down on what's working for you, and then automate and hire virtual assistants and employees to take care of everything for you, so you then can start another business. So it could be another dropshipping business. You started from scratch, the same as you did the other one, and then repeat that whole process. Start, scale, automate, and repeat, and that is how you build wealth. So once you become successful in dropshipping, it's then time to start thinking about other fulfillment solutions. So you don't necessarily have to continue dropshipping forever. You could hire a third-party logistics company, 3PL for short, to take care of the whole fulfillment process for you. So you basically send all your product to them, similar to like Amazon FBA. You send all your product to them, and then they take care of that whole fulfillment process for you. That way it's automated and it's a much more pleasing shipping experience for your customers. Lastly, to give you guys guidance and advice on how to actually be successful long-term in life in general, is to use all the skill sets that you learn in dropshipping and translate that into other businesses. For example, if you become a master of marketing, you probably will never go broke, and you'll always figure out how to make money simply because you'll know how to sell things online. So utilize all the skill sets that you learn in dropshipping into other businesses that emerge, and there will be a lot of new businesses that emerge. So as I said earlier, this world is constantly changing, so new stuff will be added, business opportunities will be presented to you. So use all the skill sets that you learn into them, and that is how you become wealthy. That's how you build wealth. So it's kind of a domino effect, kind of builds compound interest. For example, if you start dropshipping, you learn the skill sets, you translate that into the next business opportunity that emerges in the future. You then learn another set of skill sets, and then you translate that, and it just basically continues. And that is how you become wealthy, you guys, because you always figure out how to make money and you learn a new set of skill sets along the way. So before I go, like always, you know I gotta leave all you future millionaires out there watching this little quote. And that quote is 2018 was practice, 2019 was the warm-ups, 2020 is game time. So let's all make 2020 our best year ever. And until then, my friends, be great.